There's also another study that says women who dye their hair or use hair straighteners could have a higher risk of developing breast cancer. So we asked that we bring in a doctor because we wanted to talk about this to get some insight into what was happening. But instead, our team said, listen, let's go to one of the best names as it relates to the conversation of breast cancer awareness. Linda Tantawi is the CEO of Susan G. Komen in New York, the biggest breast cancer charity organization in the country. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. I made you more important than doctors because you really listen to these reports. You decipher which ones are hysteria and which ones are those that we should really be concerned about. I dye my hair. I use hair straightener. Who else wants to confess in here? You have, yeah, there, an audience full of women, and we read this report. What is true, what is not?
Well, let's talk first about the study.
Okay.
So the study was from the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, published in the International Journal of Cancer. And it looked at 46,000 women over a period of 6 years, women ages in their 30s to their 70s, and showed an overall risk, an overall increase in their risk of 9% overall for women who used permanent hair color.
Now, by those numbers, that sounds significant. Is it?
No.
It is not.
It's not. No, it's not. But that was one part. The other part is it showed a risk of up to 60% for African American women increase in risk factor. And an overall, and for white women, 8%. So that would be slightly more intriguing, but we still don't want to be alarmed.
That's why I wanted you on. I've spent 25 years being a reporter. I can't tell you how many times we would do a story, don't eat this because it causes cancer or could. And then the next 5 years you hear, actually, that thing is good for you. And I would hear and talk to viewers who were confused by this. You break down the source of the study, how many people were included, and really how relevant it is for us.
So the study is clearly very reputable,
okay,
for sure. But the study was also, the data came from what's called the Sisters Study, which is a longitudinal study of women whose sisters had breast cancer. And what do we know about that?
Hereditary.
Or
family history.
It's okay, you can talk.
My co-host, go ahead.
Right, so there is a strong family history of breast cancer among these women.
Okay.
And we also know that there are physiological differences between white people and black people. There just are. So what the study didn't show us is why.
Do we now consider not dyeing our hair?
No.
Okay.
So
what do we do?
So what we might want to do is consider dyeing our hair less frequently.
Okay.
Right? So like every 4 to 6 weeks,
which is what I do.
Me too. So could you part your hair and just color along the part and try to get away with 8 weeks for the whole
uses this little marker thing.
Marker things, yeah. the little wand.
Yeah, he uses that to cover my gray.
Would be helpful.
Okay.
But overall, in terms of risk factors for breast cancer, the biggest risk factor for breast cancer is, anyone know? Obesity.
Wow. Obesity.
So we really need to look at what can we do to reduce our risk of breast cancer.
Okay.
Let's exercise 150 minutes a week. That is what the American Cancer Society tells us to reduce your risk of breast cancer. We need to move more, and we all could move more. We all can eat better.
Yeah, we can all do better and eat better, and that's the bottom line.
Reduce our consumption of alcohol, moderate your
consumption.
Alcohol.
Right.
Yep. So
those are changes we can all make, and not get freaked out by every study.
Absolutely.
Love it.
That's what we need to do, is take the actual risk.
Yeah.
It sounds worse than it is.
Linda, thank you for coming on
to
clarify that. Because, I mean, you see these reports and you don't want to dismiss them, but you don't want to also overreact.
We don't want to panic.
Yeah, we appreciate you being on. Thank you so much.
Happy to be here. Thank you.